All right, so good day everyone. So this is our guide for writing chapter 2 of our research paper. And just like what I have told you during our meetings, um, ang pagsulat ng chapter 2 is not as complicated as other parts of the research paper because basically when you write chapter 2, as long as you know the methods, the processes that your research paper should use, or should apply, then mas magiging madali na sa inyo na isulat ito dahil it's just a basic description of what you used or what approach did you use in order for you to provide data for your study. Just like, for example, when we talk about research design, so we will just be answering several questions para maisulat natin ng maayos yung bawat parts ng chapter 2. And meron lang naman tayong 5 parts ng chapter 2. So let us start our discussion for this topic or for this research chapter. Okay. All right. So our first part ng ating research chapter is the research design. So just like what I've told you during the discussion, it is the type of quantitative research that can be structured. Sorry, I forgot to have a letter D there, but type of quantitative research that can be structured. Meaning, when we talk about research design, this is the approach wherein nagre-rely lahat ng mga methods pa na gagawin natin. Kasi when you are using or when you know the design that you are to use, then matutulungan ka niya para ma-determine kung ano pa yung ibang kailangan ng research paper mo, such as ano ba yung dapat na approach sa mga SOP questions mo, paano mo dapat ilalatag yung SOP questions mo. Alongside with that, paano mo ma-relate yung mga survey questionnaire mo para masagot yung um, SOP questions mo, and a lot more yung pwedeng ma-touch ng ating research design. So, para sa ating research design, tatlong tanong lang para magawa niyo siya ng maganda at maayos. Number one, what is the design? Ano yung design ng research paper ninyo? And that is descriptive correlational. If I'm not mistaken, all of the researches that I was able to approve is descriptive correlational. Number two, what makes it quantitative? So you will be answering ano yung design ninyo. Number two, what makes it quantitative research? And number three, what makes your study descriptive correlational? So say for example, ito yung draft natin doon sa nasa format din natin. Hinighlight ko lang siya para makita ninyo kung ano ba yung sinasabi ko doon sa tatlong question. So for this part, this research study employs the descriptive correlational method suited for quantitative research. So, sinabi ko kung ano yung design ko. It answers question number one. It has a particular structure that revolves around the respondents' ideas concerning the respondents or the research study and is classified into statistical parameters which hint that the study is quantitative. So the question is, what makes it quantitative? Nasagot ko din siya dito sa part na ito. And then last one, this method best suits the study because it attempts to collect quantifiable data and narrates how knowledge in 5A's impacts the promotion of tourist destinations. So again, this is in relation to the topic na binibigay ko as an example. So again, kagaya ng paulit-ulit kong sinasabi, isang example lang yung binibigay ko para nakikita nyo talaga yung pag-flow nung information, bawat parts na ginagawa natin. Okay, so sa last part, kung makikita nyo, sinabi dito kung bakit naging descriptive correlational yung study na ginagawa nila. Okay, so that is for research design. So again, ito lang naman yung tatlong sasagutin ninyo. Napakadali lang yan. It doesn't have to be that long. Few sentences will do. Next is, sorry, sample and sampling techniques. So for the sample and sampling techniques, ito po yung mga sasagutin natin. Number one, mention the formula used to compute the sample. So you just have to mention the formula used to compute the sample. Later on, I will tell you what formula will we use. Yeah. And then number two, how many respondents and from where? So, ilan at saka saan? And how did you select the respondents and what's the criteria? Okay, so for your information, lahat po kayo, ang gagamitin ninyo ay Sloven's formula. And then, pag ang respondents ninyo ay tagalabas, ang magiging total number of respondents nyo ay 100. Pag Tagaloob, like home economics students or any students in the PCO or like senior high school students, 100 samples po yung kukuhanin natin from HE students. And then, um, kapag tagalabas naman, PCU, sa labas ng PCU, like for example, employees sa isang hotel, sa fast food, so around 30 to 40 respondents. Customers, 30 to 40 respondents. Okay? So, yun muna yung considerations. Tapos, identify na lang natin ng mas maigip kung ilan talaga yung magiging final. Basta, for example, tagalabas, if sa tingin nyo dun sa um, respondents ninyo, marami namang employees doon. Halimbawa, napili nyo Bayleaf Hotel, Balin sa Sayaw, na naisip nyo marami naman atang employees doon, edi doon muna kayo sa max, which is 40. Okay? So, ayun. So, yun yung number of respondents. And then, for the sampling technique, ang gagamitin nyo ay purposive sampling technique. So, purposive sampling technique kasi dapat may ma-meet sila na criteria. So, gagawa kayo ng dalawang criteria. For example, ang respondents ninyo ay home economics students. So, ang pwede kong maging criteria doon is number one, they should be a grade 12 home economics students. Number two, they should be enrolled at Philippine Christian University Dasmariñas campus. So, ayun. So, yun yung dalawang criteria. Kaya, purposive sampling technique yung ginamit ninyo. So, for example, kung makikita nyo, according to the sample size calculation using Sloven's formula, mention kung ano yung formula, step 1. 30 regular employees at Tubigan Garden Resort working as facilitators will participate in the data gathering as respondents. Ayan. How many respondents and from where? Nasabi, ilan? 30. Galing saan? Tubigan Garden Resort. And then, eto may konting konting statement lang na since the study's quantitative research researchers used survey questionnaires to collect the data. Additionally, once the sample size has been identified, the researchers will select the worker using purposive sampling with the criteria of them being a regular employee and being knowledgeable in 5 A's of tourism. So ito yung naging criteria nila para mapabilang sila sa magiging respondents. Okay? So yun po yung purposive sampling technique. So yun din yung ating sample and sampling technique. Napakadali lang. Next naman is for the instrumentation. So for the instrumentation, um, we will be answering several questions just like number one, how many categories and how many research statement each. So yung magiging content ng ating survey questionnaire. Pangalawa, syempre important na maglalagay tayo ng consent letter. Sasabihin lang natin dun sa discussion na a consent letter and a parental consent for minors will be attached in the survey questionnaire before conducting the survey. So again, kung ang magiging respondents ninyo ay sure kayo na may minors, isasama niyo parehas, consent letter and parental consent. If alam niyo naman ng mga employees na yan, mga 18 and above na, hindi na minors, then a consent letter lang yung ilalagay ninyo. Next is, what are the two categories? Yung title ng categories ninyo na makikita nyo sa matrix, yung nakalagay survey questionnaire, categories, yung kinorecall. Like for example, assessment of blank, blank. Okay? Assessment of blank blank. So for SOP1 and SOP2 yan. Okay, so yun yung categories natin. And then number 4, how did you check its reliability? So, syempre, mame-mention nyo rin ito. So pwede nyong, actually, gagayahin nyo lang din talaga yung proseso, pero you can structure the sentence using your own words. So, ito yung note. You will do pilot testing to compute for the reliability of the survey questionnaire using Cronbach's ALPA. So, ito yung sagot sa number 4. Pero again, you have to restructure it or you have to structure it using your own words para hindi naman tayo matag as plagiarize and hindi maging magkakamuka yung statements natin. So just like an example here, in this study, the researchers arranged a two categorical survey questionnaire with 25 research statements each that centralizes on how the five A's of tourism can be a factor in promoting underrated tourist destinations. Like in this part of the sentence, sinabi lang naman na ilan yung magiging categories ng survey questionnaires, how many questions per statement, per category, sorry, and saan nagsicentralize, saan umiikot yung mga tanong or yung mga statements sa survey questionnaire na nandito. And then, sa second part, a consent letter is included, kagaya nga ng sinasabi ko, para daw ma-protect yung respondents um, protect the respondent's reliability to keep it from being disclosed. So yun, para maprotektahan yung um, information ng mga respondents natin. Then moreover, the demographic profiles and rating scales of 1 to 5 are described, wherein 1 is the lowest and 5 is the highest. So sinabi dito na um, kukuhanin din yung some demographic profiles of the students and yung rating scales, which is 1 to 5, are described then. Wherein 1 is the lowest and 5 is the highest. So, pwede nyo rin yung isama yung part na yan. And then next is, the questionnaire has two categories. Ito yung sinasabi ko, yung mga title nung survey questionnaire categories na nasa matrix natin makikita. And then the survey responses underwent reliability testing where an overall alpha of 0.92, which means that the questionnaire and its responses are reliable for the study. Furthermore, internal reliability and content validity was used to evaluate all research statements. So, siguro ganito yun, in reality kasi kapag chapters 1 to 3 pa lang yung sinusulat natin or chapters 1 and 2, wala pang results. Ang pag-state nito is the researchers will be conducting a pilot test in order for them to check the reliability and validity of the survey questionnaire. After pilot testing, it will be computed using Cronbach's alpha to determine the consistency of the research statements. Ganun lang yung nilalagay doon. Pero dahil itong sample ko ay tapos na yung research paper, nakikita nyo, di ba, past tense na rin yung ginagamit. The survey responses underwent reliability testing when at overall alpha. So, pwedeng ganito nyo na rin i-structure siya. Tapos, mag-leave na lang ng blank of 0 point blank, which means that the questionnaire and its responses are reliable for the study. So, kayo na bahala mag-restructure kung paano nyo man um, i-construct yung sentences ninyo, leaving a blank for the results of the Cronbach Alpha. Eh sir, bakit po i-assume na natin na if may magtatanong, i-assume na natin na reliable yung questionnaire natin? Kasi kung hindi siya reliable, hindi natin siya pwedeng gamitin. So, that's why in this part, kaya ipapagawa ko na sa inyo na i-assume natin na reliable siya is because hindi naman pwedeng gamitin yung survey questionnaire kung hindi siya reliable. Okay? So, ganyan lang po kadali kung kung paano nyo gagawin ang instrumentation. Ayan lang po yung mga tanong na sasagutin ninyo. And then last one, or second to the last, is data gathering procedure. So when we talk about data gathering procedure, basically, you will just tell or answer the question, how did you gather the data? Okay, number one, construct a survey questionnaire. Number two, attach a consent letter and sought permission to the company or school. Again, consent letter if alam nyong puro adults na yung magiging respondents ninyo. Consent letter and parental consent um, kapag ka alam nyong may minors sa magiging respondents ninyo. And then number three, also include the process of document method kasi gumamit din kayo ng documents para maging basis ng study ninyo. So this is an example. So to ensure that the data will be suitable for the research design, the researchers conducted a survey among 30 employees of the Bigan Garden Resort. Pero sabi ko nga kanina, mas maganda if construct a survey questionnaire. Doon kayo magsisimula. To ensure that the data will be gathered from its desired or target population, the researchers conducted a two categorical survey questionnaire, which will be pilot tested and um, which was pilot tested and checked for reliability test. And once proven reliable, and after proving its reliability, it was disseminated to um, kanino? Kanino dinisseminate? Ayan, i-mention nyo na. And then, after that, ito na yung part. A consent letter was first sought to seek approval. After that, it has been distributed to the selected employees to answer. They will employ this method to collect the researchers or research participants' opinions, habits, or point of view towards the topic. Furthermore, before the survey is conducted, among the participant researchers have collected data from published books, articles, and websites that help gather more information and establish theories that can reinforce their assumptions. In addition, it can help organize the research methods being used broadly. So, yun yung sinasabi dito na also include the process of document method kasi ginawa din naman talaga natin yan. Okay, so siguro itong sample natin, hindi ko pa siya ganun ka-bet. Mas maganda i-structure ng mas maganda yung lahat ng prosesong sinabi ko, which is nandito naman. Construct a survey, attach a consent letter, and process of document method. Okay. And then, last one is the statistical analysis of data. Copy the content of the sample as is. So, kung ano man po yung nasa sample ko na binigay sa inyo, ikokopya nyo lang po iyon. So, thank you so much for listening. And now it's time to start your journey in writing chapter 2. Good luck, everyone, and thank you for your patience.